Hi everybody. It's Coffee with Lorelei number 9. And I just wanted to let everybody know I'm withholding release of Coffee with Lorelei number 8 because I do talk a lot about symptoms with regards to women's health and why certain symptoms can be related to hormones. So I'm going to release Coffee with Lorelei number 9 and number 10. And withhold number 8 until everybody hears the disclaimer saying, okay, if you think that you're going to be triggered by discussion of symptoms, then don't listen to Coffee with Lorelei number 8. Because for me, when I understand women's physiology and why certain sensations and symptoms and might be happening, I go, oh, okay, I get it, and it sort of calms me down. But for other people, it might be triggering. So I just want to make sure that you don't watch Coffee with Lorelei number 8 if you are triggered by discussions of symptoms and how they can be related to women's health issues. Okay? Okay, so thank you for everybody for joining me. I just want to say thank you, and that I'm honored by your questions as always, and I try and get to them as soon as I can. So DNRS members can message me on the community forum, and Gupta program retrainers and other retrainers, they can use Messenger and message me on Facebook, or you can ask for a friend request on Facebook, and you can talk to me directly that way. Okay? So I'm going to talk a little bit today about CBT, Cognitive Behavior Therapy, CBT. There is a huge overlap with regards to CBT skills and what is presented in most brain retraining programs. Sometimes they're called different things. So I've got the CBT skills group workbook here. And in British Columbia, Canada, if you live anywhere in the province, you can go to your family physician and get referred to cbtskills.ca, and I'll put that link in the video description. And it's a free program for any resident of BC, where you get an 8-week program in learning cognitive behavior therapy skills. And also, if you live in Canada, what's it called? Sorry, off the tip of my tongue. Great West Life and that Canada Life, that company of Insurers, that extended health company covers about, I think, 13 million Canadians. So about a third of our population has extended health through Canada Life, Great West Life, that company, and they offer also a free cognitive behavior therapy skills program. It is called I'll show you, icbt. So that is free for patients or of employees who have that extended health coverage. And so I'm just going to use this workbook to demonstrate. So in the DNRS model, they talk about opposites, or opposite thoughts to patterns of old pathways, pathways of the past. So in cognitive behavior therapy, they might be called swapping thoughts. So swapping so the reframing in the DNRS model is called swapping thoughts. In CBT skills model, they use spotting thoughts, labeling thoughts, and a lot about mindfulness. So the cognitive behavior therapy piece, so you can get books, you can go on courses, and a lot of like I said, extended health benefits programs in wherever you are living may offer some free courses. So that's a wonderful resource. So, you can actually go on an 8-week mindfulness course in certain locations. And sort of the mindfulness and the cognitive behavior therapy skills, I mean, those were created in the 1960s, 1970s. And so there's been sort of a lot more research. And so when the brain retraining programs came into being, they did sort of source and use some of the tools that had been invented for brain rewiring. So those are good resources to have, and see if any of those books or classes interest you, and whether that you want to add that to your tool kit. And yes, and also Kristen Neff's work with self-compassion. She's a PhD researcher with so much knowledge about using self-compassion. And for those of you who haven't watched her TEDx talk on YouTube, it's really good. So those are some good sort of free tools that you might be interested in checking out. I'm going to put some other tools in the video description. There's a podcast called Our Power is Within, and that's from, I think, DNRS. She did do DNRS and Dr. Kathleen King's work, and Chaz Smith has done her own podcast called Our Power is Within. It's a great podcast. Lots of information about lots of different tools that you can use besides the brain rewiring, brain retraining programs that are out there. And yeah, I think that's what I want to say. Okay, so some other things I wanted to say today was that I get a lot of questions about why does it take so long? Why does it take so long to go on my recovering journey? And that, I think I've talked about that before, about, needing the time to turn different genes on and off. That, let's say, if you have cholesterol issues and you decide today that you're going to change your diet completely, it will take 3 months, roughly 3 to 6 months, for your cholesterol markers in your blood to catch up to your new way of thinking. So there is time needed for certain physiological changes to happen. And sometimes these are sort of chain reaction sort of type things where, your body's been stuck in fight, flight, fear for so long, that caused these genes to turn on, and then which in turn caused these genes to turn on, which in turn caused this this physiology to happen. So to do it backwards sometimes is a stepwise process. So and also for me, I think that we get a lot of some of our core beliefs and some of our conditionings from culture, but also from our family history. And so, we are all children of ancestors that have gone through, World War I, World War II, and some terrible things. And so those conditionings and core beliefs can be passed down, not only with core beliefs, but with, certain changes in the body. And so, in essence, I think that I'm actually rewiring not only myself and healing myself, but healing my mother, my grandmother, and there on. And it's very gratifying to me that I get to do this. I get to say, this is where this stops. I'm not going to pass it on to my kids or people that I interact with. I get to heal me and all my ancestors. So I think for me that reframe is very helpful. And I know that we all have different histories, and we've all had very challenging things happen. and to give us ourselves some compassion, and that we are all doing the best that we can, and that it takes time, sometimes, to work through all those layers. And so that's what I want to say about that. Okay, so I think so. In the last few months, I've had a new a knee. My right knee is bothering me, and so that was that actually has been a gift. And I've also sort of I used to say I can't control what happens to me, but I can certainly control how I respond to it, how I think, how I feel, and what I do about it. But I've actually reframed that for myself. Instead of saying I can't control what happens to me, I changed it to I can't control what happens for me. Because I think my spiritual sort of journey has taken another step, and I realized that everything is for me, is for, this is the universe's best plan for me, and I'm supposed to, sorry, I'm supposed to be on this journey. I'm supposed to be doing this, and this is happening for a reason. So that's a good reframe that I've actually learned in the last few months. But with regards to my knee, lots of lessons, lots of learning opportunities there, and it's helped me redefine what I believe health is, and how to be happy no matter what. And for myself, I had this, glossy, rose-colored idea of what recovery would be. Recovery is, I thought would be, this perfect life. Well, you realize that, and I'm sure some people don't have that sort of rosy-colored image, and this sort of misconception, because I realized that recovery means that I can be happy no matter what, and really sort of diving into what does health mean. It means I'm present, I'm grateful, I can celebrate life now, I can celebrate me, and life is not ever going to be perfect. We're going to have rain showers, but it sure can be beautiful every step of the way. And so and I have to thank my retraining buddies that helped me learn that you can embrace the mess anytime, and because it can be beautiful every step of the way. So I thought I'd share that. Another little tip I've been playing with is leaving myself subconscious messages. So I think we've learned that 95% of our brain is subconscious, and only 5% of our brain is conscious. And some people have asked me about that, because it sounds almost like, oh, we can only rewire 5% of our brain. Well, that's not true. Because the 95% of our brain that is subconscious is actually subconscious for us. Because can you imagine the amount of thinking that we'd have to do if we had to think about how to talk, how to walk, if we had to think about breathing, if we had to think about beating our hearts consciously. So all these things that we do subconsciously are actually for us. Now, sometimes these subconscious patterns can not serve us, and so, we go on autopilot, and we go on these sort of negative, sort of more impactful behaviors that are on autopilot, and it's those behaviors that we want to wake up to and be mindful of, and to start changing. But the bulk of our subconscious behaviors is for us. So I just wanted to clarify that. But also that I've been, for my subconscious negative autopilot, sort of knee-jerk reactions of, stuffing my emotions, or the negative self-judgment or negative self-dialogue that can pop in, I've been leaving myself little post-it notes. So, so I've been hiding them in my underwear drawer, in around different places, because it reminds myself and my subconscious that I am worthy and I am deserving. So I thought I'd pass that little trick on, because some of you might find it useful. And another little tip that I'd like to share is I've been going through learning more about emotions, and that's going to be that can be a whole nother coffee with Lorelei about emotions. But I found that if I was having a rain shower week and I couldn't, and in the past, I would stuff my emotions, suppress my emotions, avoid, distract, like anything that you can think of. I would not want to feel my emotions or notice what was happening in my body. So I learned a technique a while back that I just remembered recently, about switching the narrative in my brain and also out loud, switching it up to the third person. And so I was having a tough week, and so I was having trouble sort of feeling compassion for myself and feeling emotions. And so I started saying out loud, well, Lorelei is having a really tough week, and anybody would have a tough time with this. And, she's feeling this, 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 and this happened, and, oh, isn't that challenging? Isn't that difficult? And all of a sudden I got all these tears and all these emotions and all this compassion when I actually switched it into the third person. And I thought, wow, that's that. I've been using that tool a lot to sort of take the limbic lens out of my thinking and out of my perceptions, because the limbic system, the I'm not worthy, primitive brain, it wants to keep on saying, well, I don't want to get kicked out of the tribe. I gotta suck it up and be worthy and make sure I'm seen as worthy. It really colors our perceptions of anything to do with ourselves, and to kind of shift out of that and look at it from outside was really helpful for me. And so I invite you to try that and see if that helps you look at your situation, your emotions, your self-compassion a little bit, with a little bit more perspective, a little bit more grounded perspective, instead of a sort of a limbic lens of I'm not enough, and I should just suck it up and just plow through, and see if that works for you at all. Okay? And I think the last thing I think I'd like to share in this video is I discovered another pathway of the past, another thinking trap that I noticed about myself. I'm 56, and I think I had sort of a negative core belief with regards to my age, because our culture is very geared towards youth and beauty, and and there's quite a lot of negative connotations with regards to age. And I flipped that around. I think most of you know, I'm a big Oprah Winfrey, Deepak Chopra meditation lover, and she was talking about not denying a single moment of your life and embracing your age. And I thought about that, and I said, yeah, I'm not. And she talked about denying moments of your life and denying things that happen because you're not owning your age. And that was quite a new way of thinking for me. I thought, because I started thinking about, yeah, I'm 56. I have been graced and blessed with 56 years on this earth. And I've had all these people come and go in my life that I'm so grateful for. And I've had all these experiences, and I go through all the people that have graced my life and all the experiences I've had, and it's like, yeah, I'm 56. I'm so grateful, and I'm so blessed, and that was a nice shift for me about not denying a single minute of my life, and shifting into that ever grateful, joyful and peaceful mindset when it comes to my age. So I think that's all I want to share for this coffee. I just want to thank you for your time and for letting me express my ideas. This is a way of self-expression for me. So I just want to thank you for your time, and you can send me comments, questions, and I look forward to the next time. Okay, take care.